It's Happy Hour again from Uptown New Orleans. Hello, I'm Grant Morris. Happy Hour is part of the family of shows on the podcast network. It's neworleans.com. When you walk into a bar in New Orleans and you pull up a bar stool, you never know who's going to be sitting either side of you. What you do know is no matter what they look like, what they're wearing, whether they just got out of a limousine or just got out of jail, they're going to be happy to talk to you. Because that's New Orleans, and this is Happy Hour, a cocktail-fueled 60 minutes of random conversation with folks who have nothing in common. Other than we're all New Orleans in a bar today, we're at the Ferret Beer Room on Ferret Street,
where they have comfortable furniture. Are you aware of that? That's one of the main selling points here. Chris Poche is here. Yes. Have you tried out the chairs here, Chris?
Well, just this stool. It seems pretty normal.
This stool is not
actually kind of hard. But
I don't think it's comfortable at all, this stool.
No,
Do you?
it's actually...
It's sort of uncomfortable. Too. That's because we have to stay awake.
Well, I don't think they're talking about the stools in particular. There's comfy-looking couches just over there.
Andrew Duhon is here. That's the voice of Andrew Duhon you're listening to there. The couches are very comfortable. And Josh Benitez is here as well from Josh Benitez.
Welcome. What's up?
You've very quietly spoken today.
Hey, what's up, y'all?
That's more like it. They also have board games here. They have some great rotating beer, which is not literally rotating, but is in a sort of selection.
It'll have you rotating.
Yeah, that's right.
They have seasonal wine, house-made cocktails, house-smoked meats, Bellegarde Bakery breaking bread menu, and house-smoked beef jerky. So you can't say better than that.
Nope.
A whole bunch of beer and homemade beef jerky. Josh Benitez, welcome back. Good to see you.
Thank you. It's good to be back. Thank you for having me.
Haven't seen you for a long time.
Yeah, it's been like at least a year.
Or something?
Yeah.
You look a lot healthier than last time I saw you.
Okay.
What have you done?
I'll take that.
What have you done in the interim 12 months?
What did you look like before?
I don't know now. I thought I looked pretty good.
You did.
You did. You look
even better now, I
Apparently
suppose.
you were incorrect.
You look more sort of rock and roll looking now. You look more sort of like you maybe have a job or something.
Oh, you know what? It's kind of ironic because unless you consider well, I do. I consider being a professional musician a job, but I don't have any other kind of job currently.
Well, that is a job, being a professional musician.
Which surprisingly is what almost also influenced me to cut my hair, actually. Yeah.
Because you wanted to look what?
You know what? So I noticed that I get more tip money with my hair and my hat, actually.
Really?
So I started playing gigs with my hair and my hat, and I was like, hey, we make more money like this. And I was like,
You make more tip money when you have a
short hair. Yeah.
How did you put those two things together? Did you just get a haircut and find out you made more money, or did you intentionally?
I started putting my hair in my hat while I was pedicabbing, and I realized, I get more money when I do this. And so then I was like, well, maybe it's like that with the gig. And it turns out over many years of off and on experiments, it is totally true.
What's your take on that, Chris?
Well, I think maybe you've had that ponytail for a really long time.
You look how long my hair is. No wonder I'm fucking poverty stricken.
Yeah, you need a job if you cut your hair.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Maybe we're in this post-panhandler era where it's counterintuitive, but if you look less like you need it, we're more apt to give it to you.
That's interesting.
Actually,
if you look wealthy, people want to give you more money because
it's post-panhandler.
There's actually a bunch of evidence with that with street performers.
Yeah.
I know a lot of professional street performers, and they dress to the nines, and that's how they make money like that.
What is that about? Why would you? Like when a movie star comes into a restaurant, in some struggling restaurant, the owner always gives it to him on the house. It's like, he's got $80 million.
Yeah,
right.
Should be buying for everybody else.
I feel that. I totally feel that.
Well, they want you to talk about if you want to give you special treatment if you're a movie star because they want you to have a great time and tell your other movie star friends, I guess, that this place is awesome.
The ones you're going to also
give. I saved $18.
Talking of movie stars, congratulations on your movie. I see it's now on Netflix and Amazon. And where is it on?
Wow.
It's on Google Play, Amazon, Prime. What's the other ones? It's not on Netflix.
It's not on Netflix. Okay.
It's on Apple Music. That's the one I'm supposed to be sending people
Apple Music?
No, Apple Movies.
Apple Movies.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a really great movie. It's called is it the True Don Quixote?
The True Don Quixote.
I can never remember if it's true or real. And can you give us the one sentence about it?
It's Don Quixote.
Yes.
Okay.
Pretty much.
It's down to 3 words.
Yeah, it's a contemporary telling of as much as I could make it a straight up, unembellished sort of telling of the book. So I mean, what you can do in 90 minutes with a 900-page book.
But it's set in a sort of modern day. Well, I don't know where, in the Westbank somewhere.
Actually, we shot it in St Bernard.
St Bernard. It's really. I was shocked how good it is. I don't mean that as in any
sort of
kind of thought you'd be
backhanded
crappy
compliment.
because I know you. And
Yeah, I know.
I look forward to seeing it. But the true in the title, are you suggesting that had we seen the play or the movie that we would not have seen a true rendition?
Absolutely.
Got it.
Yeah.
So this is
actually the first time. The book's 400 years old.
Uh-huh.
This is weirdly the first feature film of Don Quixote ever made.
Okay.
Like Terry Gilliam took it as a launching point for a different kind of thing. In the play, The Man of La Mancha is actually wildly different than the book.
Got it.
So
we
you
just
didn't have,
made the book.
Why would nobody in 400 years have thought of this in all these years of Hollywood?
I don't know. It's not a blockbuster, so maybe they saw something in that I didn't see.
Maybe they know something.
That'll be nice, and they'll have a great time. And,
Jokes on them, Blockbuster closed.
That's true.
There you go.
Yeah, jokes on them.
Good point, Josh. How did you get it made? Did you go and pitch it as a script to Hollywood studios?
No, we left Hollywood out of it entirely, which is the only reason it got made.
Right.
We made it here. It's entirely a local production. We financed it here. We made it here. We shot it here. The only two people involved that weren't local were the two lead actors.
Right. Tim Blake Nelson.
Tim Blake Nelson and Jacob Batalon, who both live in New York.
Who is the other guy, Jacob Batalon? I thought he probably was some sort of local guy saying I'd never heard of him. Is he famous as well?
He's crazy famous.
Do you know
Even though
him,
he's
Josh?
20.
You ever heard of him?
I don't think I have, but I will look this person up.
Have you ever heard of him, Andrew?
No, I have a question.
You may have seen him,
Yeah.
though.
Okay.
He's the sidekick in the current Spider-Man movies.
Huh.
Oh, awesome.
He's the kid that plays Ned Leeds.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that was his first movie, by the way, with Spider-Man.
That's awesome.
He's got a good agent.
For him. Good for him.
Yeah. We were the second
Also,
movie.
he's incredibly charming.
He is super charming.
So,
He's a-
Andrew, you want to ask your question?
Yeah.
I've got a few thousand more after you.
Yeah. So it's a current version of Don Quixote. Is there a manifestation of the windmill that's regionally specific? And if so, can we guess what it is?
You can guess. I'll give you each one guess.
What
'cause
about
it's
this
super
fly?
obvious.
What is this fly?
Except
doing?
that Grant's already seen the movie, so he'll
Oh.
just guess last.
I won't give it
because
away.
he knows the answer.
I can't remember.
It's really good. I don't remember a thing about it. It's great.
Who was in it again? Yeah, okay, have a guess, Andrew.
Wait, no. So is it like New Orleans regionally specific,
It is.
or just contemporary specific?
It's contemporary and southern Louisiana specific.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean it's
Is it
very
like an oil platform? No,
super close,
Nice.
something like that.
but it would be out in the field doing what a windmill did.
Is it one of the oil rig
Yes.
things?
Got it
yeah.
too.
Pump jack.
Very good.
That's cool. Pump jack. That's
Pump
right.
jack is cool.
So we built this thing because you can buy them. You can buy a used pump jack, by the way, for $3,000, which is astounding.
Functional?
Yeah, but
Cool.
they're really heavy
Yeah.
and super dangerous.
Right.
Like, every time we looked, it's like, well, we're going to kill Tim Blake Nelson, which is not how you want people to know
Right.
you're making a movie. So we built one out of plywood. And
Great.
I mean,
Did you really?
The scenic people are incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like because of my other job, could draw. So I drew this like I needed specific things, and they just made it and brought it out into this field in St Bernard Parish, and it looks like a rusty steel pump jack. I mean, it's stunning.
I
this
thought it
thing.
was. It's actually just wood.
It's made out of wood, and
Wow.
the mechanism that operates it, were my teenage son and this other guy hidden in a plywood box that looks metal, shoving a pole 15 feet in the ground.
Oh,
and
yeah.
walk up.
Of course.
I'm so happy to
Yeah.
have that imagery in my mind.
While the 6-foot-long salt and pepper king snake was running around inside
Oh,
the box
nice.
in 95 degrees.
Wow.
But when you shoot it, it looks incredibly real. So real that when they placed it out in the field, they had to alert the local media in St. Bernard, and they did a little Facebook push to tell everybody that it wasn't real.
That we didn't actually strike oil in St. Bernard Parish.
Yeah, because people are going to start calling about mineral rights and
Right.
stuff because it was on foundation property. So there's this whole like little tiny kerfuffle that happened.
Oh, that's fantastic.
because
also-
of our set was out there.
Thank you for using kerfuffle.
You're welcome. That's a good
Have you
word.
used that in a song ever?
I
John?
haven't, but I
Write it down.
I'm putting it in my mind right now.
I got to use blunderbuss in a song for the movie.
Blunderbuss?
How often do you get
Blunderbuss.
to use a word like that in a song?
Blunderbuss and kerfuffle. I need a pen
Yeah.
and paper. I gotta write
Did
this
you
down.
write a song for the movie?
I did. The closing
You wrote
credit
the-
song.
You
That's
wrote that?
very cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, when you run out of money at the end of the I sang it. You do everything.
Oh, that's
it's like,
amazing.
well, can't afford anybody, so.
Oh, that explains The Nightmare Before Christmas.
The one there's a lot of great things about that movie, but the bottom line great thing about that movie is the script is so fucking brilliant. It's really funny and moving, and it's like a real great movie.
Well, thank you. As a screenwriter, I'll take that as a big compliment.
I really mean it. It's really great. I was so surprised at how good it was, and it won the sort of the Golden Globes or whatever it's called at the New Orleans Film Festival.
All right, just keep calling it that. That's good.
Golden Globe. And I think it won the Academy Award at the New Orleans Film Festival as well. Whatever
exactly. They call it an Oscar, but it's in quotations.
It's
the Oscar Wilde.
Yeah, the Wild Oscar.
Anyway, it's a really great script.
Award.
I'm surprised that you didn't hawk that around Hollywood and get a whole bunch of money to make that, but it's better that you did.
Very little money.
It's better that you didn't. Are you making any money? Is it possible to make money on a movie?
Well, we'll see. It's only been out for a couple of weeks.
Right. So how does that work?
It's weird. It's a new world with this because we thought we didn't get big distribution, and we thought, well, it's like publishing your novel at Kinko's, right? You just make a bunch of copies, and but there's a whole new distribution model there's a system in place. We have an aggregator that we partnered with that puts it on all these streaming platforms.
So it's like music now.
Mm-hmm. It is.
I hope you're getting more than you get as a songwriter.
Well, there's a Spotify aspect to how devalued a lot of it has become. It's actually what happened to the music industry over the last dozen years. It's happening to particularly the independent, actually the whole film industry.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's finding ways to pay nobody.
The most popular place in the world,
right?
And then there's everybody else. I think it's because there are too many choices. So if you're going to dial up a song or a movie, you're overwhelmed with choices.
Right.
So you gravitate towards something familiar.
But the
you
other
just have the time to make a choice.
The other
so
side of it
invests
is
in that.
Yeah, but the other thing is now, when there used to only be one of everything, there was like one big TV show like Seinfeld, and there was one big band like U2, and there was, everyone else sort of fell down below, beneath these people. Now everything's kind of equalized, and you can have a gigantic hit movie or TV show on Netflix, and it's like millions of people are watching it, but I've never heard of it.
Well, but that amount of money is just spread out over more people.
Right.
So
you can't.
There are people who have recurring speaking roles on Netflix shows.
Right.
Who are still tending bar.
So you can't actually make any money even if you have a hit now. So what you're saying? That's depressing.
You have to have a really big hit. And it's funny, my writing partner and I were just about 10 months ago, we pitched an idea to this executive at Warner Brothers, right? Mm-hmm. So you think, and she's like, listening and nodding, and you're trying to do that desperate, stupid pitching thing. And she's like, that's a really cool idea. But it's got like a $75 million ceiling. So that's as much as they could project making from it, even though it only make costs about 20 to make it.
At the pitch meeting, they can figure out how much they're going to make.
Yeah,
from the final movie.
They think they know, but that's not enough because once Avengers makes $1 billion, it literally made $1 billion.
Right.
So if you're not pitching them something that's worth $1 billion,
so nobody wants to make as little as $75 million.
No, absolutely not. That's not enough.
Not worth it.
Because your profit would only be about $30 million.
And you were like, oh no, that's terrible.
So, Josh, get your guitar out and play us a song, and we'll see if we can come up with a hit here.
Oh, right now?
Yes.
Right now.
It's time to play something.
Okay.
Because it's going to take us a moment to get it out. So while you're getting that guitar out.
Well, I have a question while he's getting it out, actually. So you're the screenwriter of the Don Quixote true story. So you're trying to stay as true to the book as you can, but your task is to write dialogue, or what are you writing as the screenwriter, or just what it looks like?
There's probably not one word in the movie that's actually in Don Quixote. Yeah. I mean, there are, but but not in order. You know what I mean? It's like you just have to distill it. The book's 900 pages, the first and second parts.
Got it.
So you try to get the essential parts of it, and I had to throw out the book's super episodic. Mm-hmm. It's not a story as much as a bunch of little episodes, and a bunch of them. And so the first trick was to figure out which were the ones that I wanted to keep, and that revealed some character and sort of implied at least a little bit of a plot. It's not much, but enough to keep you in your seat and keep you watching. Mm-hmm. But you throw out the NOLA project last year did a stage version of Don Quixote out in City Park, which is terrific, and they used only the parts that I didn't use. And they didn't use. I don't think we had anything in common other than the characters. And there's probably 4 more of those that you could make.
Right. Are you going to do a sequel?
I'd love to do a sequel.
DQ2?
Well, there's a second book. I mean, the whole reason I started reading Don Quixote, which nobody's read, including me at the time.
I have never read it. Have you guys read it?
No, not the whole.
Was
No.
the story of Cervantes writing it.
Oh.
Really quickly, he wrote the first book. It was the first modern novel. He had been a failed playwright, a failed poet, a soldier. He'd lost use of an arm in one of the biggest battles in European history, and he'd been a slave for 5 years on a galley ship. Like, he had this crazy life.
Wow.
He writes Don Quixote. It's a huge hit. It's translated in all these languages. It's like the beginning of literature. And his publisher, which is really just a printer, kept all the money because there was no intellectual property laws, because there was no intellectual property. Wow. So he had nothing. And then somebody else wrote an unauthorized sequel, which he could do nothing about because there was no intellectual property laws. So he wrote a third book, and in it, Don Quixote and Sancho Panza are aware of the first book and know that they're famous, as they should be. They're also aware of the second book, the Book of Lies, and they set out to find the author of the unauthorized book and kill him.
Wow. And this is the story of the third book.
Yeah, so in 1605 he writes the first modern novel. In 1615 he publishes the first postmodern novel, which is like this crazy meta thing.
Wow.
It's incredible.
That is incredible.
So yeah, there's already a sequel.
Are you going to do it?
You help me raise the money.
Yes.
How much do we need?
$600,000.
Okay. Is that doable, do you think?
I know a guy.
$600,000.
That's not
I know
much
a guy.
movie.
It's not worth it, though, if we can't make $75 million. More than $75 million.
Yeah, it's got a $75 million ceiling.
If we could make $750,000, I'm in.
Yes, we can, I promise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do a GoFundMe. How much was the budget for the first one?
It was under $1 million.
So we really need 600,000.
And we got a lot of, like, the St. Bernard people were incredible and crazy. We got all sorts of things donated. We got access to places we could shoot and all this stuff because they wanted a movie made in St. Bernard because nobody makes movies out there. And it's fantastically photogenic.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. And there's a lot. I mean, you could make the next one out there too, right?
Yeah. In fact, I stole the beginning of the second book as the ending of the movie.
So
Nice.
we're set up.
Yeah, we're teed up.
All right. You have to write the thing, though.
I'll do that. Tim's in. He's always in. He's the most game guy in the world.
He's your writing partner?
No, Tim Blake Nelson.
Oh, Tim.
Yeah.
Tim Blake. He is great.
God,
he's a great actor.
He's a wizard, man.
It's amazing that you got these great actors like that. How did you do that? Because I went to this Q&A that you did, and these guys were there, the actors were there, and they were talking about you like you're a Spielberg. Like they love you, and this guy's so talented.
It's crazy.
I had no idea that you're like a super genius in Hollywood.
I didn't either. I'm glad he was there to tell me because it's not so evident, really.
They didn't seem to be drunk, or there's no reason that Tim Blake Nelson has to say he loves you.
Actors love to act, and as a character actor, he didn't get offered a lot of lead roles, particularly something. He's a super literary.
Right.
He was the class orator in his class at Brown University studying classics.
Okay.
He's a
And
very
that was reduced to
he's a very
Buster Scruggs.
thinky dude.
Right.
And he had a great time. And when he decides to do something, man, he's
all in. Yeah.
He's something.
He's the Josh Benitez of acting. Josh, what are you going to?
Blake
What do you?
Benitez.
So you got a record coming out.
Yeah, I do actually.
When is it coming out? Because I says in my info here, it's coming out by Mardi Gras. What year was this intended to be? This coming Mardi Gras.
Yes.
So you're actually that far ahead. It's coming up by Mardi Gras 2020.
Should be.
Okay. What date is Mardi Gras 2020?
I don't know. It's Mardi Gras.
So you just got a vague.
That's right.
Sometime in the spring.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
No, I have it's almost all done. Mostly, so this is actually going to be, I'm going to be releasing it on vinyl as well. And the production time on vinyl is a long.
Huh.
So that's actually, as far as like an internet release, I could probably, have it out with a really, really acute understanding of when it will be. But when it comes to final production, it's a little harder to.
Do you want to hold out and release it in all the formats at the same time?
No, actually, a soft release would be fine, but as far as a hard release goes, I could see, Mardi Gras is the date, the deadline for me.
Do you need a hand with the title? of the album? Because we can come up with that now. We've done that a few times.
Yeah.
Actually,
on the show.
I would be really
Pretty good at
interested
that.
to see what you come up with. I got
Okay.
it. I got a hand on it, but I would
Well,
love
what
to.
are you calling it? We don't need to do it if you've already got it figured out.
It's just going to be the Josh Benitez band live.
Oh, okay. We can beat that.
That pretty much
We can beat
We
that.
can do better than that,
says
right?
it, I think.
And
Yeah,
what
it's-
about if it's something : the Josh Benitez band? Like,
Go.
welcome to my world.
Welcome to my world.
Or
That's
like,
kerfuffle.
welcome to my colon.
Oh yeah,
Josh Benitez.
welcome to my coal. That's a great idea.
yeah. Welcome to my colon. That's a good. That's a good name.
That is a good name.
I'll talk
Where
to
is
my
it live?
agent
Where is it
about
live at? So it's all recorded, obviously, or not
Yes.
recorded at all.
Yeah, no, it's recorded. It's already mixed. Just like it's really the album art, concept art is all pretty much done right now.
What
as well.
do you need to wait till Mardi Gras? Is there some sort
Where-
of?
It's the production time on
marketing?
vinyl. It just takes months.
Where
to,
was it
like-
recorded?
I recorded it live at Le Bon Temps Roulette.
Le Bon Temps.
Yeah.
Okay,
Live at Le Bon Temps is good.
Le Bon Temps.
that is good. Live at Le Bon Temps. Yeah.
Well,
That's
I
gotta
didn't like specifically get permission to record live there, so I didn't know.
Ooh.
Yeah.
They don't know.
They know, but I didn't.
I would
Put
think
their
that.
name on the album. They might want a nickel.
Wouldn't they
Yeah.
want? Wouldn't they be paying you to do that though?
I don't know.
That's
I
a
gotta,
good angle.
I got it. I should. I'm considering it, and now I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna tell him you sent me.
Well, I
Should at
mean,
least get like a tab.
There you go. Yeah.
what is it? Does it sound really good? I mean, it's not.
It sounds amazing.
Okay.
Yeah. This guy Dale Latino is the one who did the recording, and honestly,
His name is Latino.
that's his name.
Is
yeah.
that- his name is Latino.
Dale Latino. Yeah.
Dale Latino.
Yeah.
That's his real name.
Yes.
Dale. That's brilliant. I would call the
Thank you.
record that.
David
Dale
after-
Latino.
I actually heard Del Latino,
Del.
which is even better.
Dale Latino.
No.
That's good too.
The Latino.
Dale is.
What,
is
what
such-
street is Le Bon Temps on? A magazine and what?
It's just past
question.
Napoleon. Yeah. So like.
What's the corner?
Yeah, what's that corner?
It's right across from Tal's Hummus. We could look it up.
Anyways.
C-Rock will tell us that. What is the corner of? Why you do something with the names of the
Maybe.
corner?
Yeah. That way you wouldn't have to pay Le Bon Temps.
There it is.
I can't see
bidding
why
war.
you'd be paying them. Why wouldn't they be paying you?
I just want to. I just didn't want to like be codified in that being the album title without getting permissions just to do that. That's all.
Fair.
Well, tell them if they don't pay you, you're going to say it's live at Tipitina's or something.
Are there laws about that? You say, like, live
Can you
at Carnegie
lie?
Hall?
You can't copyright a title, right? So you could call yourself live at anything.
Okay, live at the Happy Hour talk show.
Yeah, you can say live from the front
then
beer
just
room,
like-
except you're not allowed to have a speaker.
Just like
in it.
cue in all the audio from the show. That's hilarious. Okay.
Yeah, fine. We can do the intro right now for you, live from. Okay, see, what corner is the Bon Temps?
Bordeaux.
Bordeaux.
Uh-huh.
What happened to
Bordeaux's a
Bordeaux?
fancy
That's
word.
nice.
Live at Bordeaux sounds pretty cool.
Live in
It's a little bit
Bordeaux is
misleading,
nice.
but totally
Live
cool.
on Bordeaux.
Magazine in Bordeaux.
Live on Bordeaux
Live
is
on
nice because then
Bordeaux.
it sounds like you're wine drunk.
Right.
Live on Bordeaux. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think?
About playing music right now?
Oh, that was an idea too.
What?
Sure.
You
Yeah.
told me to
Okay.
get my guitar out.
What
so I
are,
should.
what are you
right now.
playing exactly? Look, I like your shirt as well. I just noticed that. That's very cool.
Oh, you know what? Thank you. My
Where is that?
girlfriend actually picked it out.
She did? Where,
Yeah,
is
she
she
did.
here today?
Yeah, she's over there.
Where is she?
She's on her phone over there.
That's her with the blue scarf on?
Yeah.
Did you pick out the scarf?
No, that's
She
her.
picks out everything. You all right? But you did a good job. I like that shirt.
Yeah, thank you.
Very
That's
nice.
actually really why you got your hair cut, isn't it?
No.
He got his hair cut to make more money. That's something I never realized.
Well,
I'm leaving
disappointed.
here and going.
No,
to
disappointed
listen.
in people,
There's
actually.
there's more to it than that. There's more to it than that. That was definitely though like a really important decision though, as far as cutting my hair. But also I just had my long hair since I was 11 because I did not go to
that's
high
like-
school. So
You didn't go to high school.
nope.
Okay, how did you manage that?
What do you mean? I was homeschooled.
You
Did you
was-
not read this?
you stayed at
I
home.
sent it to you. You didn't read it.
Homeschooled
You're
throughout
fired.
high school, it says here. It
Yeah.
does say that right
Yeah,
here.
right there.
You
on the
were.
paper.
You never went to high school. So you stayed at home for the whole of high school.
Yeah, pretty
Why
much.
was that? You're like a bad kid.
No.
Did you have mental problems, socialization issues, or something?
Oh man. What if I told you? What do you?
No, it's a Bible thing.
What kind of answer do you
Was
want?
it-
What kind of answer
Was
do you want here?
religious?
Yeah.
Well, come up with the best one. Doesn't have to be true.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, actually, I'll tell you the truth.
Okay, we'll start with that. Then
So at the time I was going to high school, my mom decided for some reason to move to the Westbank. And
that explains it.
Yeah, and so I was going to school in the Westbank, which is honestly, like, the school I was going to was like notoriously racist, and so I was having a lot of like racial discrimination issues with being Hispanic, like a lot.
Seriously?
Yeah, a ton. It was horrible. So that's why.
So you were like born ahead of your time, because aren't there like tons of Hispanic people on the West Bank now?
Actually, it has got one of the highest incarceration rates in the entire United States.
The West Bank of
the West Bank. Yeah, stay away. Don't go there.
Wow, that's like 1 mile from here.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
And I have not spent enough time there to know any of this.
You don't.
And maybe that's good.
Can you give us some idea of what that's like? What kind of shit do people say to you?
Oh, actually, I think one of my favorite like anecdotes. There was an officer who he stopped and frisked me all the time. Like that was his one of his little pastimes. It's like I was walking home from the library.
How old are you at this point?
He had done it for like more than a year.
So how old would you?
I want to say like 16.
Okay.
Yeah, but
maybe he thought you were attractive.
Yeah, I guess so. Because it just got to the point finally where he'd roll down his window and be like, "Hey, Benitez," because he knew my name, and he's like, "Yeah, you got time to talk today?" And I'd be like, "I don't know, man. Are you asking? Because I don't think you are, you know." And so that had happened so many times that I actually knew my license number by heart, and so I'd recite my license number to him, and I'd be like, "Run the numbers. They're clean right now. Run it." And I'd repeat the numbers, and he'd be like, "What?" I was like, "Run my numbers. I am clean. Do you have anything on me, or can I go?" And so I had that conversation a few times. And
this is an NOPD cop.
No, this is the Westbank.
Yeah. Isn't that the NOPD?
No.
Isn't it Orleans Parish?
Nope.
No, it's Jefferson Parish.
I thought it was what part of the West Bank?
This is actually in Plaquemines.
Only Algiers
this is actually
in Orleans
Plaquemines.
Parish. The rest of the West Bank is in Jefferson.
Yeah, and this was actually even more western. It was Plaquemines Parish.
Plaquemines Parish. So what little town are you in or something there? Where were you?
This is a place called Belle Chasse.
Belle Chasse.
Yeah.
Of course.
There's like a military base in Belle Chasse.
Yes, there is.
It's the Naval Air Station.
And it was...
And they're so racist that you couldn't leave the house for the whole of high school.
I mean, that was a really big factor, sure. Yeah, actually, the craziest thing this cop ever did, so I was coming home from McDonald's one day, and he stops me, and he's like, "What's in your bag?" And I was like, "McDonald's." Okay. And he's like, "Well, what's in there?" And so I was like, "Chicken nuggets." And I said, "With barbecue sauce." And he's like, "Open your bag." Wow. So he opens the bag, and then he's like, or he makes me open the bag, and he makes me put my stuff on the hood of his car, and he's like, "Open the chicken nugget box." So I opened the chicken nugget box, and actually I'd forgotten that I'd gotten sweet and sour sauce instead of barbecue sauce, and he looks at it like, "I got you." And I was like, "Liar!" Yeah.
Well, now that a few years have gone by, do you know who this person is?
No, I deleted that person's face from my memory.
You couldn't find him again, because it would be great as an adult to find that.
How desperate are they for people to harass? Because you don't have an accent. You're not darker than I am. You're not like...
I was.
You got the skin lightning?
Actually, so no, I did.
Stand-up tan?
Well, years of staying inside my entire life to avoid that. Actually,
your skin has changed.
Yeah. I have photos because no one ever believes me. So I'll cue these up if you want to keep the conversation going.
God, do you know how bored they must have been? Like,
I just can't even believe
there's
that.
Nobody out here to mess with. Hey, that guy looks slightly Hispanic. It's worth a shot.
Are there any black people?
Exactly. It's like there's nobody else to.
Are there black people living in Belle Chasse, or are you the most exotic person they've ever seen?
I guess it's some combination of that. You know, it has to be some kind of weird, this, whether it's conscious or subconscious, they definitely recognize me as the other. I also had long hair still, and so that
Well, right there, of course. That's a whole different thing.
Yeah, it was always the story was we've got...
Hey, let me just ask you this question then.
Yeah.
Is it just you and your mom at home there?
No, I have...
Who else was there?
2 younger sisters and a younger brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were they suffering from the same kind of racism?
They had a different dad, so no, they
don't look...
Nope. Some people don't even believe we're siblings.
Wow. So even in your house,
yes,
you're the
yeah.
That's interesting because
Yeah.
I was going to say, why didn't your mom think
intense.
about moving? Did she ever consider moving away from Plaquemines Parish to get away from
there's all kinds of like financial issues. She's a single mom of 4, and so
it's a cheap place to live.
Rent and work
Right.
goes, she had to like make the best decision. So that was.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's
on the
giving you
table.
a great 6 or 7 minute story.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure. Mm-hmm. Is any of that true, by the way?
Why would I?
I don't know.
It'd be a tall lie, man. It'd be a tall lie.
You're starting to wonder if Grant has ever said anything true because like he's constantly on this. Oh no, you can lie.
That can't be true.
Yeah,
that's fucking
this
crazy.
actually isn't even plugged in.
No.
Nor is
not
that
being
actually his
recorded.
accent.
That's right.
Yeah, it's
oh,
fake.
you're
I'm
from the
faking it.
He's from
Westbank.
Covington.
I'm from the Westbank. I'm from Booty, actually, just up the river. Well, that is a horrible story, I have to say, isn't it? Do you feel traumatized, or are you totally over it?
Actually, as far as like processing systemic trauma, I definitely have had to do a lot of work in that, for sure. Actually, you read my bio from when I was still processing that. Remember when I was talking about like in my bio, I had
Remember,
something
you
about
said you
anxiety.
The last time that we talked, I remember you didn't tell us any of this, but you told us that you never thought you would live.
Oh,
That you
I told that to
Yes,
you?
you said I didn't think I'd ever live at all.
Why do I open up to you?
Because
It's the beer.
you're drunk.
Oh, wait, I'm not drunk enough. Actually, everybody, you can raise your drink too. I would like to propose a toast.
Here's to it.
Here's to
left
it.
if I
Thank you so much, everybody, for being
You're
here.
right.
Because remember, the drunker you get, the better you think I sound.
All right.
Amen.
And here's to Dale Latino. My favorite name
He's a great guy.
of all time.
He's a great guy. Good recording.
What does he look like?
He does.
Does he look like Dale or Latino?
He looks like Dale.
He looks like Dale.
He looks like Dale.
So he looks like a totally white guy
how old
from.
is Dale?
That's
I
I want to
ask
say like his
because-
40s.
Can you like imagine meeting a 7-year-old named Dale? Like he's just not gonna.
Dale.
There's
Yeah.
nobody's naming their kids Dale right now.
Well, not unless you're from maybe Austin or something.
Yeah, you know,
Where
I don't
is he
know. Maybe Dale Earnhardt was when it like peaked.
Oh, Dale Earnhardt. Oh, okay.
maybe.
Everyone's
Yeah,
like,
okay, all right.
I know what to
Hadn't
name my
thought of that.
kid. And then
Right.
everyone was like, all right, that's enough of that.
It has
I
the
wish they-
accent built in too. Dale.
Yeah.
I think that's just the way I'm saying
Just
it,
how
actually.
it's pronounced. I think that's the correct
I bet you
pronunciation.
that
It's
cop's name was
Dale.
Dale.
Do you have any? Do you speak Spanish or have any sort of Hispanicness?
No. There's
Nothing.
We can get all into that another time, but
Well, we've got time now. If you've got a minute.
Wow, all of the oppression and none of the like
Yeah.
cultural.
they used
good
to put
stuff.
me in English as a second language. That's right. Then they would make me read like 3rd grade level stories and be like, "Do you understand this story?"
I can tell by the way you speak the difficulty you have with the
Right.
language. Yeah.
But I just have problems with enunciation, so.
Well, you know what? Do you even look ethnic at all? Really?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you?
Yeah.
I can't. I wouldn't say if I saw you on the street. I wouldn't know anything. If you didn't know your name was Benitez, I wouldn't even think of anything.
I mean,
You don't look
there's something there, but what's surprising is that,
Yeah.
you would be singled out.
I got a great way of like explaining that. So, in my mind, I am with another person of color, they instantly know that I'm not white. And the same thing goes for someone who is racist. If you are racist, you look at someone and you're like, oh, that's not a white person.
Not my tribe.
They're
Yeah.
instantly able to determine, because that's the features they're looking for. They're actively trying to determine if I am a friend or the other.
Okay, so you know a lot about racism
Yeah,
because you've been on.
Got to.
Yeah. Okay. So what is your explanation for it?
I would say, I'm not a monolith for any culture or heritage or anything, but I'd say from my experience, a lot of it has to do with a lack of exposure. People can be racist without knowing they're racist. That's really common because they're just not exposed to people of color.
Right.
So
but people who are racist, though, people who look at you and say that guy's some
who
sort
are
of
like
a
openly, but even they have like an interesting like sense of self. Like I've noticed a lot of people who think they are not racist but are totally racist. Like they'll literally be like, I'm not racist, but I think Mexicans should just go back where they're from. Like it's not race or anything that has to do with the fact
It's not
that
hate, it's heritage.
yeah, it's
They got all these like weird little homilies about it, and
yeah, and for sure, and I think it's one of those things about like being able to identify that in oneself is like a really huge leap for people to be like, oh, you know what? I guess I do just hate this person based on factors that I've invented in my mind.
Well, that's what I was getting at. What's your explanation? Do you hate these people who hate you?
Whew, that's a hard question. Hate. Hate is a strong word.
Well, they hate you.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so do you hate them back, or what's your reaction to that?
That's interesting. You know, like, no, I would say I don't hate them.
You don't?
What
is your emotion toward these people then?
Usually. I mean, obviously I have to, like, preserve myself. I have to protect myself. I have to protect my, like, you know, mind, body, and spirit. So
right.
It's not complacent. It's not passive. However, you know, I guess an important thing to note is that, like, to allow something to evoke emotion in you on a constant basis will just ruin my own life.
Right.
So, like, I have to have, like, that degree of separation where I go, like, oh, you know what? Like, I could be mad about this right now. I have every right to be. Yet, whose day is it going to ruin? Mine or this person who has no idea?
But to some extent, your life was ruined. I mean, you stayed at home for...
Yeah, well, that's why I got good at guitar.
Yeah. Well, there is that. Your skin changed color.
Art comes out of pain. And you don't want to be oppressed and put in pain, but if you turn it into something valuable, that's where it comes from.
Yeah, I actually know what is this song? I actually know what song I want to play because I wrote this is like actually one of the first songs I ever wrote. It was like I was 15 years old and it was right after Katrina actually, so I'd just gotten back, and so I think it's just really topical.
Okay,
because this is just where that conversation went.
So many things going wrong, but I don't know why. I don't know why, yeah. Lord, can you help me now? So many things going wrong, but I try and I try and I try and I try. And he said, don't ask no questions. No, 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 no. I don't have answers for you. Do you think that I'd be here if I knew? If I knew? If music's a key, yeah. Will someone show me the door? If music's a key, don't you think I know more? I know more, I know more, I know more. And I said, don't ask me no questions, no, no, no. I don't have answers for you. Do you think that I'd be here if I knew? If I knew.
Thank you.
Very nice. What'd you think, Andrew?
That was cool, man.
Thanks,
It was
man.
great.
Very nice.
Yeah. That was actually, it was like, I wrote that, that's like maybe the second or third song I wrote or something. I definitely wasn't as good at singing or playing at the time I wrote it, but like, yeah.
You've grown into it.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy. 'Cause I was like, so the music I have now, it's like funky, it's poppy, and like it's real danceable, and the whole thing is like driven by this community aspect of like getting everyone involved and able to participate in a musical style that allows for like almost infinite amounts of types of expressions. You know, if you want to like, do some acid and come to my funk show, you're gonna have a good time. You want to do some uppers? I'm not into it, but good for you. You have a good time. It's designed for whatever headspace you're in.
Do you have to be on drugs to be?
No,
you
not
can
at
be
all.
Straight as well.
Yeah, exactly, totally. Yeah, which I was for a long time. I didn't do any drugs. I didn't smoke or anything until I was 21. Yes, I was like completely stretched, and then I went
That's
crazy.
because you were home all the time. You didn't have an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And also if I did get invited places, they were like, "Oh, who's this guy?"
Who's this Mexican?
Yeah.
What did they think you were? What race exactly?
They loved calling me Mexican.
Mexican.
They loved
Okay.
that. That was like their main thing. You're Mexican. I was like, I'm not even Mexican, dude. And if I was, who cares? But
where were you born?
I was born at Southern Baptist
Southern
Hospital.
Baptist
yeah,
Hospital.
Yeah, which is like the facility is just on Napoleon, so it's a different
So you're from
hospital
Uptown.
now. That's where I was born.
You're an Uptown boy.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
interesting too, because it doesn't matter where you're from to them, just where you're not from.
Mm.
It doesn't. Mexico, Honduras, they don't. They don't.
Yeah,
like there's
right.
no. My son was at a high school soccer game a couple of years ago, in Pearl River, Mississippi.
Well, that's bad, right there.
Yeah, right there. And at the end of the game, they were doing their high five, and we beat them, which ticked them off. And the coach, who is Mexican, and proudly so, and has tattoos and a big crucifix around his neck. He's a super Catholic guy.
There it is.
Yeah, is walking off the field, and one of the kids, the high school kids, went, "Why don't you go back to Iraq, you Muslim?"
Oh my
I was
God.
like,
Well, I must say though, that is Pearl River, Mississippi. You know.
it's but it's a part of the world. It's like we live in a little bit of a protected little sphere here, and that's
Right.
not very far away.
Well, that's why.
No.
It's very close, but that's why we live here.
And it
you
turned,
only have
into
to get in the
it turned
car.
into a fist fight because they
Are you
also
serious?
said it to one of the players who, hilariously, is a Jewish kid who was adopted from Guatemala. So he's like, and he's this big dude, and they told him the same thing, and he just was having none of it.
You don't have
Yeah.
to drive very far in
Oh.
any direction out of New Orleans to find that, though.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much east, west, or anywhere else.
No, and this guy probably shouldn't leave Orleans Parish unless he's
It's-
going to
and-
Manhattan.
It's why cultural preservation here is so important. It's like, this is a safe space for a lot of people
Right.
to like actually experience a real kind of life.
Talking of Mexico, we have to mention this show before we forget. This is Kristen Diablo, who's a folk singer, and Andrew Duhon, who's a folk singer. Are you a folk singer?
Yeah.
What do you call yourself?
Just songwriter.
Songwriter.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kristen Diablo is a songwriter, I should say that, and
Yeah.
not folk singer. What
Sure.
does she call herself? She's not really folk. Have you seen the new stuff, the new band? She's like rocked out.
Yeah, it's
It's serious.
new Americana.
New
stuff.
Americana. Okay, so this is a duet show with Andrew and Kristen Diablo, who is awesome as well.
Yep.
And it's this coming Friday night, which
Sure
is only
is.
2 nights away.
That's right.
The date is what exactly?
The 15th.
15th of November, 2019, if you're listening to this in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
This looks like it's going to be a good show.
At
Hope so.
One-Eyed Jacks, right?
One
One-Eyed
Eye
Jacks.
I think it's gonna be good.
Down on
Hope
Toulouse.
so.
If it's as good as you're good looking, it's gonna be good.
Oh shucks, yeah. Well,
He's really good looking.
no,
Hey,
no
Andrew,
promises.
you want to play something?
I'll be glad to. You
Yeah.
guys speak amongst yourselves. It'll
Okay,
go.
go.
Well, I have a
Good
question
time.
for Josh while you're doing that. That song and the songs on your record, how much instrumentation is there? Is it a full band? Are you electric? Are you
Hey,
acoustic?
thanks for asking. Thank you. So the most recent recording has. Can I actually get a bit more in the mic? I think it went down because I was singing real loud.
That does sound weird.
Thank you. There
There
it is.
you
There it
are.
is.
That's nice.
I think I was coming through on this one actually.
Oh.
Cool. So, the instrumentation is it's got bass, drums, guitar, trombone, and keyboard, and also I have a great backing singer as well.
Because that song sounded like a big-ass Lenny Kravitz kind of big guitar song, even with the acoustic guitar.
Can I
like
tell
all
my?
those bar
I'm gonna tell my
chords and
girlfriend
stuff.
that right now.
Yeah.
Liz, he said the song sounded like a big ass Lenny Kravitz song. She loves Lenny Kravitz. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and so do I actually.
And why not? Yeah.
Well, he's some sort of ethnic minority as well.
Yeah.
He's a number of
a
ethnic minorities.
black Jewish man.
He's black and Jewish.
Yes, and that's
That's almost Mexican. That's almost Dale Latino right there.
actually one time this lady like she was like, I was like playing a gig, and she's like, "What's your name again?" And I was like, "Josh Benitez." And she's like, "Josh Benitez? What kind of name is Joshua for a Hispanic?" I was like, and I was like, "Well, thanks for coming to the show. I guess it's my name."
That is pretty interesting. Boy, you're a real lightning rod for these racists.
I don't think it's me.
You don't? You think it's everybody?
Yeah.
Everybody who doesn't look white in
Yes.
Pikeman's Parish gets shit.
Oh, well, that lady was actually on Frenchman Street outside of the place I was performing. I was on set break.
I think if I had this reaction from people, I would hate everybody in the world.
It's easy to do.
Yeah, but you don't seem to be that.
Because I'm always
full
under
of
the assumption that people aren't being as overt to you. Because as a white guy, I hear shit from white people all the time, who just assume that I agree with them because I'm white.
Oh, there's that.
There's that, like, which actually you probably do too.
I get it sometimes, but usually, again, I digress to a previous point. If you're racist, you know, like they're like, "Oh, see those lips? That guy's racist," or that guy's not white. I don't have white lips.
But how do you live in the world like this? Is what I'm saying. I would
do you
be.
mean, man?
I'd be
I think
either an alcoholic, a murderer, or something, or move.
You're not safe yet, man. Just watch your back.
But I mean, I don't live like this every day. I don't have this sort of people hating. I don't know. I don't know if I have people hating me. It's different. That's a whole different
But you've
thing.
earned it. That's different.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not like they just put it on you.
Right,
You've
right.
spent
Now I have a
lifetime
personality that
cultivating
people, yeah,
this.
exactly.
I guess, yeah. Ultimately, it's just like I'm more than that. That's all.
It's pretty cool that
It's just
you
like
can
such
rise above it. Yes, Andrew.
Oh, I
He
don't.
looks
I
ready.
just,
Okay.
Andrew, can I say I appreciate you very much?
oh, thanks.
You've been like really chill and quiet, but I appreciate that.
Oh, good. Well, thank you. Not that Grant, your approach isn't equally as valid, but thanks.
But it's, somebody's got to keep the thing going.
No, that's right. I think you do a great job, Grant. Honestly.
Oh man, that guitar sounds great.
Thanks, dude.
What's this, a new song?
Yeah, always gonna play something new here. So been in the songwriting cave. I got back from, being out of town for a while, and I want to stay home and just try to write some new songs and make a new record. Guarantee it won't be out by Mardi Gras, but one of these days feels like it's time for something new. And his song is
God, that guitar does sound
exercise.
Yeah.
Thanks. This guitar is actually a product of Katrina company, not a company, a nonprofit called Music Cares was around and saying, hey, if you lost gear in the flood, let us know what you lost. And let them know, what I lost was a guitar and some harmonicas. I guess if you add it all up, but they gave you a stipend for $1,000 to Musician's Friend at the time, which is basically like the Amazon meets Guitar Center these days. But this is what I picked up, and so it's my Katrina guitar, I guess. Anyway, this song's about the cave, I guess.
All right.
Those were simpler days. My head way up in the clouds. Till one day, unbeknownst to me, somehow I had sown the seeds of my own self-doubt. And it rooted deep inside me. And it grew just like an knife. Wrapped its way around my spine. Left all my joy behind. Yeah, it choked me out. But I'm getting down to the root of it now. I'm getting down to the truth of it now. When the days are dark and stormy, I can feel there's nothing for me way up in the clouds. I swear I'm digging deep down. Yeah, and I'm digging deep down. Yeah, move a little earth around. I'm digging deep down.
Yeah.
There's no need to be nervous when you're just scratching at the surface. But when you're really getting down and start pulling out your head, got to keep your wits about.
I've been taking deeper breaths. I've been contemplating death. Flying way off the rails, dirt beneath the nails, I ain't shoot off yet. So when the light grows dim, that's when I know I'm closing in, yeah. Yeah, I'm down there on my hands and knees and feeling my way around. Yeah, and I'm digging deep down. I just wanna hold you close to me in hopes that we can both agree that there's no such thing as what this life is supposed to be. Say it again, I just wanna hold you close to me, and I just hope we can both agree that there is no such thing what life is supposed to be. So when it looks like there's nothing left, close your eyes and take a real deep breath. And when you need me, baby, put your ear to the ground. I'll be digging deep down, digging deep. Gotta move a little earth around it, digging deep.
Yes. Thank you, man. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Hey, thanks, y'all.
Really? That was
Holy
really good.
shit, Andrew, that could be really something, that song.
Thanks. Yeah, it's all.
Couldn't it? Chris,
You're saying it's not already?
what do you think of that?
I think it needs an edit, but I'm glad. I'm encouraged by your reaction. Thank you.
That's great.
Yes, Josh, what do you think as a songwriter?
Oh yeah, I thought it was great. I thought it was beautiful. There was, I loved the melody, and I loved what you did with the tambourine on the foot. Actually, it actually came through really well on the microphones.
It took me a minute to figure out where the hell the tambourine was coming from.
Yeah.
I looked instantly. I was like,
That is a very courageous a way to play the guitar on that song, isn't it?
Yeah.
To hold that onto that. Although I thought you were going to
Study
give that up
minimalism.
after a minute or two.
No, but the beauty of
That's
having
great.
those two chords and just going in, then when you do move that to the minor, like it means you
oh right, I
feel the
forgot.
change.
Yeah, you play music. Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
To a
Chris is
degree.
like a Renaissance man. He's an architect, a film director, a screenwriter, a pauper, a poet.
Yeah, mostly the pauper part. My wife says, "Dude, you can make anything except a living."
Ah, she does not say that. I'm sure that's just a line.
It's fine.
What are you?
It all works out.
What are you doing next? Are you making another movie?
I hope so. I'm trying
But
to
I
get
mean, is
something
there
going.
anything
But I'm
on the-
also practicing architecture still.
Right.
like I
So you're
always
an
do.
actual real architect.
Yeah.
So one of the things that you
Yeah.
designed, according to my information here, is you had something to do with the Ogden Museum of Southern Art.
Yeah. I
What
worked
did you
on
do?
that
That's a beautiful building.
for years.
What did you do there?
There was a joint venture between Concordia Architects and Errol Barron and Michael Toops. And I came in as a consultant to Concordia because they didn't have enough people that knew that kind of building.
Right.
And so I got embedded in this little fantastic little design node at Errol and Michael's office and was sort of the Concordia guy on the project and did a bunch of we designed it and drew it, and it was quite an experience, particularly in what people realize the big sort of modern part of it. But the renovation of that really historic Richardson building on Lee Circle was just incredible.
Right.
That's an unbelievable building.
But you must be some sort of like a 1 in a million or fewer, or more, fewer than 1 in a million, whatever the opposite is. Who can be like a really great architect and a really great screenwriter and great film director?
You know what's weird is it's all the same process.
I don't think so. Is it?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, particularly being a screenwriter and an architect, you're in the same role. You're sort of charged with the vision, and then you got to take care of it. while everybody
I guess
else
there's a
gets their
combination
hands
of
on it.
creative and a formula in a sense.
They both have structure, they have
Right.
detail, they have to have a theme.
Form and
There's
function.
Form and function.
It's
There's
very,
a budget.
very
There's
unusual still, though.
There's a bunch of people with a lot of money on the line
Right.
making decisions that you don't always agree with. I mean, it's a very, very similar.
Is it?
I
can't even imagine the similarity between words and drawing. There seems like two different parts of the brain to me. And one's math. I mean,
little bit.
architecture is all math.
Like, I notice I can listen to music when I'm doing architecture, but I can't listen to music when I'm writing.
All right.
Because particularly anything with words. 'Cause
Yes.
that same little part of your head you
exactly.
can't
Yes.
use at the same time. If you're drawing, you can use the word part of your brain to listen to music. But to write, I need silence. Like, really weird, deep silence.
Deep silence?
Yeah.
Absolute, like isolation.
Chopin is often my guy.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, Mr. Benitez, do you have time to play like have you got a short song?
I don't know. Do you want to do like a 1-4-5?
Okay, what happens? Are we going to make something up?
You know what?
Yes.
You got a song.
We've got to get out of here, but I would love you to play something else if you've got something short that we can sneak in.
Okay. I'll tell you what.
If it's not short enough, they're just going to do the fade on you.
We're
They're going to turn the big
Well, we'll
knob
just
to-
keep going, but you know, it's my fault for not keeping more of a sort of a control over what's going on
You can
here.
vamp out.
Vamp out. Oh yeah. Okay. I got a perfect
Well,
song
we
for that.
could.
It's,
You-
just like it's on
really?
the album.
Okay.
It's a really simple song. It's a sing-along song. You're welcome to join. The words are really easy. I wrote this song because someone once told me I wasn't funky enough. Yeah. And these are the words.
I.D.G.A.F. I don't give a fuck. That's all you gotta say. I.D.G.A.F. I don't give a fuck. That's the only words. I.D.G.A.F. I don't give a fuck. I wanna hear you say I.D.G.A.F. I don't give a fuck.
There it is.
Right on. That was sick.
Nice song. Are we supposed to give ourselves a hand on it? Is that the whole song?
No, there's way more to it, but I had 30 seconds, so there you go.
I think it was a great way to
That was
end.
nice.
That should be
Okay.
your theme song. You should license it from Josh.
Hey, yeah,
We should do it for the show. I don't give a fuck. Happy hour.
It's actually suiting.
That's
Fits
nice.
well.
Yeah, it's good for a sing-along. That's for sure.
Thank you.
Hey, so let's just give a shout-out to Judy Poopadoo Hill Andrews, who was supposed to be sitting there.
Oh,
But
Judy.
for some reason, best known,
She was unable
only
to
known-
launch today.
She didn't get here. Just as well.
It feels
I
like
guess.
she died with the little empty stool and nobody at the microphone. It's a little sad.
I hope she's not dead.
That would be horrible
That
if
would
I
be
just
your
said
fault.
that and she would. I would feel totally responsible.
Hey, Google that. See, I can see it.
Saturday,
Is
She's
fine.
Judy
She's fine.
Poopadoo Hill Andrews dead? That's got to be a yes or no question. Okay. Andrew Duhon and Kristen Diablo this Friday, the 15th of November at One-Eyed Jack's on Toulouse.
Yep.
What time is that? Like regular time?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock start. Okay, very good. And just the two of you.
Nope, we'll both have our bands.
And the
It'll
whole
be
thing. Oh, that's going to be really a
review
big night.
style, do some duets interspersed.
That's going to be a big night.
That sounds
Yeah.
great.
And Josh Benitez, when can we see the Josh Benitez band and where?
I think the next show I'd love to promote is November 21st at the Carnival Lounge on St. Claude.
Okay, the Carnival.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm talking to Kermit Ruffins about playing at the Mother-in-Law Lounge right now. We'll see.
Oh, that's cool.
That's looking promising right now.
Well, now
And-
you've got short hair.
Yeah.
The world's your oyster.
The world is my oyster.
And when the record's coming out, Mardi Gras, and I looked online today on Spotify, and there's nothing there except that one song.
I don't give a funk.
Yeah.
But it's an instrumental. Did you listen to it?
Yeah, I did. I listened to it. I was
cool.
waiting for the lyric, but there wasn't one.
It's a catchy
why-
little hook. You should
why
put that
aren't there-
lyric in there.
Why aren't there more
It's good.
songs up on Spotify?
I think we explained it before, mostly because Spotify is not
Just get-
lucrative. It's
No-
just,
no
I
point.
literally make
All right.
more money selling burned CDs from my computer.
Yeah, all right.
Like just
Lots more, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, like way more.
Yeah.
The return on investment is
Spotify's a horrifying.
If you would have thought of that, you could have just shot your movie at home with your.
I should
with
just
your
be
phone.
handing you a DVD
Yeah.
that's like,
and then
skip
be like,
Apple movie.
yeah, you
Really?
$9.99.
or
Okay.
$5.
And I do recommend, just before we go, if you have a chance to see the True Don Quixote, take advantage of it. It's on Amazon and it's on Apple
Apple Movies, Amazon Prime, Google Play, Redbox, Vudu, Roku, pretty much everything but Netflix.
Right, everything but Netflix.
Because Netflix is a pretty oppressive deal when you get it.
You looked at Netflix, it wasn't worth it.
Yeah, it's all different too. Like we make more per play on Apple Music than on any. They're not uniform than on any of the other ones.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very complex.
Never stop winning. You think you're going to make a movie and that's going to be the end of it, but that's just the beginning of the whole fucking
spend the rest of my life.
Nightmare, yeah. Well, I hope you make another one. I hope you make a sequel to Don Quixote. I would love to go see that. Thank you, guys. That's the end of Happy Hour for another week. Josh, thanks for being here. Chris, thanks for being here.
Thanks. It was
Andrew,
fun.
I'll see you back here in a week or two. The producer of our show today has been Graham DePonte. Monique Pyle is our music producer, and our music consultant is Christian Unruh. Thomas Walsh is our technical director, and our Facebook live feed director who put this whole thing on Facebook is Asher Griffith. Our fact checker and social media connector is Andrew Searock. Searock, our theme music was written by and is currently being played by Mitch Foreman. If you'd like to be on our show and you can stay upright while drinking alcohol, drop us a line. Our address is on our website. It's neworleans.com. We can also find other shows we've made around here, including a lot more happy hours. Out to Lunch with Peter Raschuti, live from Commander's Palace, Louisiana Eats with Poppy Tucker, and our award-winning podcast about death called Death the Podcast. You can also find other great Louisiana podcasts at itsacadiana.com and itsbatonrouge.la. And you can keep up with us on a bunch of time-sucking social media between shows, like, for example, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and all of it we're called It's New Orleans. And you can find photos from this show on itsneworleans.com and on our It's New Orleans Happy Hour Facebook page and on Instagram too. These photos were taken today by Hope Bird. You can find more of Hope's photos online. The easiest way to do that is to Google Hope Bird, B-Y-R-D. If you're listening to this on your favorite podcast app, thanks for subscribing to us. If your podcast app has a share option, try telling a couple of friends about Happy Hour. This show is recorded live today at the Ferret Beer Room on Ferret Street in Uptown New Orleans. Happy Hour is a production of I.D.G.A.F Broadcasting for itsneworleans.com. For Andrew Duhon, everyone around here at the table at the Ferret Beer Room at the back of our office at I.D.G.A.F Broadcasting. Thanks for joining us. I'm Grant Morris. We'll see you back here next week, or at some point. I think we might be off next week. Okay. And then it's like Thanksgiving or something or other. So if we don't see you back here for a week or two, there's plenty more happy hours to go listen to, and we'll see you back here at the Ferret Beer Room in maybe 2 weeks. See you then.